My name is Sones Naka, and this is my story. I grew up in a family of 5, and I was the youngest, and we grew up with an alcoholic and often violent father. He brought a lot of anxiety and trauma into our lives until my parents divorced when I was 12. I practiced Hinduism because that's what my family believed, until things changed up when my eldest sister was the first to come to faith. She came home to us and told us about this God that she had met, and it really confused me and made me quite curious because I thought faith was just something you were given and inherited from your parents. I remember my second elder sister, after that sister, being very upset about my sister coming and speaking this truth and this gospel. And she was very resistant, but a friend of hers actually took her to Common Ground. After a run, she sort of said, "Hey, can you come through the church with me? I'm going to be late." And she heard the gospel for the first time and was moved by it, and subsequently heard God saying that He's her father. And then she became this amazing evangelist and came and told us all about God. And I was so shocked by this because she was not, interested in Jesus. When I moved to Cape Town to study, this was the opportunity she'd been waiting for, to show me her God. And to be honest, when I first came to church at Common Ground, I wasn't completely sold. I didn't understand this God who was offering His grace for free. It didn't make any sense to me. And I wondered, what did I have to do? The simplicity of the gospel confused me so much, coming from a space of understanding karma and good and right and getting what you put into the world. But this God's offer was for free, and it blew my mind. I knew that He was God. 3 months in, I remember seeing that this was the one true God, but I couldn't believe His offer was free. Eventually, God revealed to me that He's God and He gets to decide how things work. That's what it means for God to be God. And I had to play by His rules, and He says that His Son can die for my life, and I can receive this grace for free. I realized that I couldn't close the gap between myself and God, and I really needed Jesus Christ to come and die for my sins so that that gap could be closed. Remarkably, while I was coming to faith, my mother was having a very similar experience in Durban. She had called me after my first experience at church, and she'd wondered how did it go and whether she should also check things out, as she had passed one that day. And I said, definitely, you should totally check it out. We can go on this journey together. And I remember us sharing calls on a Sunday, just saying, what did you think of the sermon? Oh, this God is very interesting. This is so different from anything we've ever known. So God has deeply changed me and my biological family. But I can't tell you about the amazing grace that He has shown me through my spiritual family at Common Ground. In my story, I grew up without a father who I could ask for wisdom and guidance. But coming to faith and learning of my Heavenly Father, I've really had that completely turned around for me. I remember a day when I was driving back from church, and it was just such a faith-filled moment. All these thoughts came into my mind of just how I changed, how I used to be this way and now I'm this way. I used to be like that. I used to be timid and now I'm more bold. I used to be like this and now I'm like that. And I wondered, why was I so different? And I just felt God saying to me, that's because you're my son and I'm raising you. I'm truly your father. That's what it means for me to be your father. Is that I raise you and I love you and I come alongside you and I change you and I make you more like me. Just recently, my mom, after 10 years of knowing Him, decided to be baptized and be obedient to His word. And it was just such a moment of highlighting to me how God never leaves us the way He finds us. He changes our lives from the inside out.